Let's talk a little bit more about stories. This is blowing up all across social media. LinkedIn just dropped it. What do you really like to see in a successful story, John?
I'll tell you what I don't want to see. I don't want to see more behind the scenes. I feel like that's too easy. And I don't think that from a presentation perspective, that many people are intrigued about that. I would almost attribute it to like, I love using Mac computers. But if you show me how to build one, you're going to bore me out of my mind. There are people that are legitimately going to be interested, but I would say that the vast majority just want the computer that works. They want the value, they want the experience, but they really don't want to understand how things work. So I haven't seen as much success with that part. Maybe if like, of course, like if you work in a fluffy industry, you do podcasting or like video marketing like we do, I can see where it would be a little bit fun to learn some of the behind the scenes elements, but I would encourage people to stay away from that. What I do love to see is before and afters, transformations. I love a good transformation. Seeing a client in their before stages and how the company was the lightsaber, the Excalibur that helped them slay the dragon. I want to see transformations. I want to see clients that went from a place of pain and difficulty and how companies transform them into a higher place. So I feel like at its best, it's utilized in that way. Step by step process, walk us through like the customer journey, like how like it could be anything, but some of those ideas, like in video marketing, how like my script writing process works. That could be like my creative process, step by step. I open up a voice typing Google sheet, walk them through that process, how I develop my ideas, anything like that, how to's, all of that stuff. Very powerful on LinkedIn stories. It just isn't being utilized as much for that purpose right now.
Yeah, well, I think people are trying to figure it out. I primarily use it for marketing or awareness. Hey, new YouTube video is out. Go check it out here.
Can I
And
encourage you to try something?
please, let's do it.
Okay, so if you're going to promote your YouTube video, which I commend you for it, great idea, but turn it into two separate slides. Here's why. Have the first one be the challenge, or like what would be, is it like plugging a podcast or something like that?
Well, let's say we're plugging this show, for example. Maybe we'll
Okay,
use
so
the
if we're plugging
strategy
the
on the
show,
show.
yeah. So the first slide that I would create, the first LinkedIn story I would create was like whatever challenge I am remediating. Like, so John, what is the biggest secret about LinkedIn stories, right? So this creates a curiosity gap, right? Like we need to create curiosity so that people feel invested to check the next story. And then with the next story, you hit them with, like a big value bomb, right? The reason why we want to create more than one story is because we want to know how many people are actually watching. The thing
Mm.
about LinkedIn stories is it's just a cascade. It's like you could just go from one to the next to the next. But if they watch the second one, they actually invested in the first one. The only way to know if people are engaged is to have that second slide to see if they stuck around.
Really, really good stuff. Two slides. You heard it here from John. John, do you think that it needs to be video or could it be photos taking us on this journey? What do you think about that? Photos versus video?
I think photos are underserved on LinkedIn stories because they're a little bit more challenging. It's like anything in life, right? It's very easy. Well, I mean, jury's out. It's a little bit easier, I suppose, to just jump on camera and deliver your message and just keep it concise. But I think it does take a little bit of more work and intention to actually write out something that looks nice. So I always go I go the opposite direction of where everybody else is headed, right? So if everybody else is doing behind the scenes video content, I want to do a picture post or a text post that just makes it stand out a little bit more than everybody else. And you do find that it makes it more impactful.
Yeah, I definitely am with you there. Standing out, doing things that are different. GIFs are something that I like to use a lot.
Yes.
It's hard to quantify how effective that is. Of course, tagging people, like you had mentioned earlier, tagging people. And I think we're going to see LinkedIn drop a lot more features in the near future. I mean, TikTok has completely changed the game on how we consume 5 to 15 seconds worth of content. And I just think we're going to see that really evolve. Seeing it on YouTube now, we're seeing it everywhere. Everything has stories. So some really, really good takeaways there. Thank you so much for watching. I'm glad you enjoyed this episode. I've got several other episodes right here for you. Smash one of these videos to make sure that you don't miss out on the tips, tools, and tactics of industry experts. Let's take that side hustle full time. Smash one of these links.